Alright guys, today I want to compare the Blade Nano QX to the Hubsan X4. Both are great nano quadcopters or micro quadcopters, whatever you want to call them, and they both have great features. They both have 6-axis gyro, they both fly amazing, they both come with great transmitters in the ready-to-fly packages, and really there's not much bad to say about either of them. We're going to go ahead and compare some of the differences so you can kind of decide which one you might want if you're looking for a little micro quad. First, let's start with price, because that's obviously one of the first things people are going to look at. We're going to compare the ready-to-fly to the ready-to-fly, since both of these, that's what they are. And the Blade Nano QX in ready-to-fly is $90. The bind-to-fly is about $70, I believe, but the ready-to-fly with the transmitter is $90. The Hubsan X4, I've found it for as cheap as $36, but it's usually sitting more around $45 to $50. So at $45, which is the actual usual price for this, if you look around, you could buy two of these for the price of one of these. So that's one thing to consider, is you can get this for a lot less and it's great flying quad, or this one's double the cost and some people might opt for it because of the brand or because of some of the features it has. So let's go over the features. First, what comes in the box? Well, in the box is basically the same thing. You're going to get your transmitters, quadcopters. You're going to get an extra set of blades with each one. The only difference is with the Nano QX, you get an extra set of blades that's in a green color, and you also get an extra canopy in green. So if you want to switch out the color of your quad, make it look different, if you have a couple flying at a time, maybe you and a friend both have one, one could have green, one could have yellow, and you can switch the blades on it to coincide with the canopy. In terms of transmitters, they're both very nice transmitters. They both have settings you can do on them. You have on your Nano QX, you can change the flight mode and the rates, the dual rates from low to high rate. On your Hubsan X4, again, you can switch between standard, like normal mode, and expert mode. And very simple to do on both transmitters. They both fit great in the hand. And there's really nothing bad to say about either transmitter. They both have your binds, they both do everything you would want. So in terms of ready-to-fly transmitters, they're both equal in my book. They both do just fine, very responsive on both quadcopters, and they both fit in the hand great. So in terms of what comes in the box and the transmitters, basically equal other than the color change there that you can do on the QX. In terms of the quadcopter, I'm going to get up a little closer here, hold them both up. For the Nano QX, we have really bendable, plasticky, rubbery type material that is made into it. And it comes with these guards for the blades that are pre-attached and are always attached. And as you can see, they're bendy. What's nice about this is if you hit something, it's going to bounce off, really not going to do much damage. So it's really nice durability. This helicopter is very hard to break. I mean, if you are outside and you crash it straight down on the ground trying to flip it or something, well yeah, you can break it. I mean, you could break anything if you crash it straight into cement. But in terms of normal flight, it's pretty hard to bust this guy up. He's pretty strong little quad, and the bendiness of it is a good thing. Some people might think, oh, that's weak or that's, cheap. They did this on purpose so that if it does impact something, it doesn't crack, it bends and then bends back into space, position. So really nice quality of the materials here, nice little quad. The Hubsan X4 is not bendy. It's more of a sturdy, hard plastic material. So if you crash with this, there's a little more chance of damaging it. Now that being said, I have crashed it and I've had no damage done, even with the crashes I've done to it. So it's still very durable, but I'd have to say the QX is more durable. This has more chance of breaking with the same crash as a QX probably wouldn't break in. In terms of size, look from the bottom, and the QX looks bigger because of those guards for the blades, which you can get on the QX. I might have mentioned, might not. The X4 you can get blade guards for as well. But if we look at the motors, line them up kinda, you can see the Nano QX is slightly larger, not a super much bigger, but it is about a centimeter more distance between the motors. So overall, just from the initial facts, they're very similar. Like I said, you can get the blade guard for the X4, so it can be protected as well. And some of them ready to fly come with that, some don't. I don't know why some don't. But overall, they're very similar packages. The X4 is cheaper though. So the next thing is flight. How do they compare in flight? So we're going to go ahead and take both of these up, and we're going to do nothing too crazy, but we're going to do a little standard flight, a hovering test with no controls being inputted. We're going to do a little bit of flight around the room and just, see how they fly, and then I'll come back and talk a little bit more about what I think about how they fly. So let's go ahead. I'm waiting for my batteries to charge up. One last thing I could say about the batteries is the QX comes with a 150 milliamp one cell. The X4, I believe, is a 240 milliamp one cell. That being said, they still have about the same flight time because the X4 is slightly heavier. So even though it has a bigger battery, the flight time is pretty comparable. So I'm going to go ahead and wait for the batteries to charge up. Then we'll take these off one at a time and do a quick 1 minute flight with each one. And then come back and I'll give you my thoughts on how they fly. Let's go ahead and take them off. Alright guys, we're going to start off with the Hubsan X4. And also they both have LED lights on them, just so you know. So they both have that. We're going to start off with the X4 in the low rate mode, and then we're going to go to expert mode. I'm going to start off with just doing a hover. Might need a little trim. I haven't flown this in a long time. Well, a couple weeks. And as we can see here, hands off hover. It looks like I need a little bit of back trim, so I'm going to use a little bit of cyclic here. Get it down a little bit, and then we'll try to hover it again here. I got a fan on. I should have turned that off as well. As you can see, hands off hover there. Pretty darn stable. Let's go ahead and just fly this around the room. This is in low rate mode, and we'll just do a couple circles. And in low rate, it's very easy for people to learn on. As you can see there, the hover was very stable. Anybody could hover this helicopter and start learning orientation, tail in orientation, and then they could start doing some twists and start learning orientation, hovering in all directions. So it's a very easy quad to learn on, and I'm sure that we'll find the same is so with the Nano QX. So this is low rate mode, and as you can see here, we can do little spins. I'm doing this with both sticks. Here's a pirouette just so we can see how stable pirouettes are. And as you can see, almost no body roll whatsoever. In fact, I don't think I detected any in the pirouette. So it's got a very stable pirouette there. Going in the hallway almost there. Oh, don't hit the wall. And it's not super agile in low rate mode, and it's not meant to be. It's meant to be easy for beginners to learn on without giving too much input. So let's go ahead now, press the button, and now we're in expert mode. I don't know if you can read it, but it says expert there down on the bottom. It's kind of out of focus and hard to read there. But now we're in expert mode. So again, in expert mode, it's going to still be just as stable in a normal hover. My throttle's a little low there. Still going to be just as stable in normal hover, but now we're going to have a lot more ability to move this around fast. Try another pirouette here. It should be faster. And as you can see how stable that is. Barely moving out of a 1 foot square for a long time. We can move around the room a lot quicker. I might crash because I'm going to go crazy here if I can. Oh, I thought I might crash. Now let's check the durability. Hopefully nothing fell off. And as I said, the Nano QX probably is more durable, but that being said, this is still a durable little quad. I lost two blades there, so let me go ahead, find those, and let's come back. Alright, so I found my blades on the ground, and as we'll see here, we just pop them back on. So if they do pop off and no other damage is done, you just kind of push them, oops, line them up right, and ready to go. So let's go ahead and take it off, do a little more flight, and let you guys see that that durability was just fine. And we're back up in the air. Now I'm under the table. Let me get out from under the table. It looks like I might need a little trimming, so I went ahead and reset the gyros just now. And there we go. Now it's better because I replaced the blade, so it was a little bit different trim than before. So now let's just go ahead and fly this around the room a little more. I'll show you one more just quick flight here. In the hallway. And I'm just kind of going crazy, going wherever I'm going to go. I'm not really trying to do anything specific. I'm just trying to show you guys how maneuverable it is and how it'll just kind of do whatever you tell it to. And it came right back by me. Gotta watch out for my TV over there. I should cover that up. Alright. So as we can see there, very nice little quad. Flies great, very responsive. Everything I give to it in the transmitter goes right to it. So great flying. Let's go ahead and try the Nano QX now. Alright, now we have the Nano QX in high rates indicated by the solid LED on the transmitter. I'm going to fly it in stability mode, and then I'm going to hit the button to change it to agility mode, or expert mode I call it sometimes. So here's stability mode. As you can kind of tell, it's a little bit quieter. It seems to need less power to fly because it is a little lighter. Needs some trim as well. Okay, I think I got it trimmed out pretty good. So let me bring it back here now and try to do a little hands-off hover. I gave it some throttle there that I shouldn't have. It's going up. And try to get it back to an even throttle here. And there we go, a hands-off hover. So very nice, again, very easy for a beginner to start learning on. And this is stability mode. So we're going to go ahead and just fly it around. I feel like in stability mode, this one has a little bit more movement than the Hubsan X4 does. The Hubsan X4 I feel like has a little less movement in low rate mode. And let's go ahead and do a pirouette here. And again, as you can see, very stable, perhaps even a little more stable. It's moving around a little bit, but keep it in a pretty tight area there. Very nice. And let's just, whoa! Now I'm in low rate mode, and it's good I crashed because I crashed both of them now. And as you can see, this one even made less noise. I turned off the throttle, and no blades are going to come off because it has those protectors. So that's very nice about it. But in low rate mode, I find it, both of them actually, that you can't go too fast because corrections aren't always instant. So it flies nice, but you got to be careful not to go too fast anywhere because corrections aren't always instant. Let's go ahead and land it and put it up into agility mode now. Alright, so we just tried stability mode. Now let's go ahead and try agility mode or expert mode. Now in this mode, it's going to hover really simple. We can get that hands-off hover again really simple. But in this mode, this is more going to fly very, very direct. It's going to be, as you can see there, I just lost it. This is going to be more like, kind of like a collective pitch feel. It's very, very advanced. You need to be able to fly well. So let me go ahead and just try to fly it on the room without crashing it here. Because I usually fly this mode outside where I can have a lot of room. In this tight space, I do a lot of overcorrecting because I've only got about a 6-7 foot wall-to-wall here. Pirouettes aren't much faster. I'm kind of amazed about it. It actually seems like slower pirouettes, but as you can see, it's a very tippy helicopter now. So in agility mode, if you get this thing, you're going to be able to kind of progress on it, but I find the agility mode in this to be harder than something like the Latrax Alias. I just went back into stability mode, and as you can see in stability mode, fly it around real simple, no problems, very easy to do whatever I want. But kick it up into, whoop, I just ran out of battery. Kick it up into agility mode though, and it's pretty darn tricky, especially for new pilots. So let's go ahead and do a little comparison now that we're done. Alright guys, so now that I've flown both a little bit and showed you it, what do I think about the flight? Well, I've flown the Nano QX and today I didn't do so great inside. Like I said, in agility mode it's very responsive, and it's better to fly agility mode outside where you have more room. In a tight room I found myself overcorrecting, so in a little tiny room it's not so great in agility mode. But outside I made this thing do flips, a lot of fun. I like that it's so responsive. The X4 will do flips and tricks. Again, I didn't try those inside, but they're by the push of a button. You can make it do it on your own, but it has special tricks built in. Those are cool. Lots of beginners or even advanced flyers will like that, but I like when you do it yourself. So you could do it yourself on either. Hubsan X4 just has a couple built in, which I didn't show today, but I have in some of my previous videos. If I was going to pick one of the two, I'd honestly probably go with the X4. The Nano QX is great. I love it. I really like the stability mode of the X4, the standard mode. It has very maneuverable inside and out, really great flying. It's really amazing. It is a great helicopter for that mode and the agility mode, but I really like the stability mode of the Nano QX. I'd say that it flies a little bit better than the X4 does in the lower rate mode, the stability mode. Very responsive in the high rate of that mode, can make it do anything you want basically, and it flies amazing. So if you're willing to pay the little extra price tag, it's a great choice because that stability mode is awesome. It really is. It's very responsive and it'll turn on a dime, do it whatever you say. And then you have the added bonus of the agility mode where you could advance and do more and more. So if you're a CP flyer and you know how to do flips and tricks, you'll be able to do a lot of stuff with this, especially outdoors. Like I said, outdoors I've got it to do some pretty cool things. So great helicopter. But if you're just getting into quads, which one's better for you? Well, the QX is very stable, very nice, and very durable. So it's a good choice. But if money's an issue, the Hubsan X4 I think flies basically as good. There's a little bit better technology in the QX, but the X4 flies super stable. You can make it do anything that the QX can do in the high rate mode. I find that the high rate mode on the X4 I like better. I find that the lower stability rate mode on the QX I like better. Seems like they're kind of more matched up. It seems like the low rate mode on the QX and the high rate mode on the X4 are more equal. This one doesn't get quite as high rate, and this one gets super high rate. So on this one on high rate, it kind of feels like stability mode to me on the QX, and I love this one in high rates. You can make it do turns, spins, whatever you want. It goes where you want, turns on a dime, and it's half the price or less. So it's really up to you guys. I don't really want to tell you guys which one to get. They're both amazing, both fly great, both have great flight modes, and the QX does give you the option to expand your flight capabilities with that agility mode. The X4, it doesn't get quite as crazy, it doesn't get quite as responsive, although you could probably do some settings and turn it up even more. But it does get crazy enough and responsive enough that you can do anything with it. It's great for learning on, both of them. And if you're getting one for a present for someone, or if you're buying it for yourself and you just want to save some money, maybe it's one of your first quadcopters, QX is a great choice. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever, nothing wrong with either of them. It's just the price tag difference and a little bit of features difference. So, like I said, I'd probably pick the X4 just for the price and just for how I like the expert mode that it flies in. But the QX and stability mode, about equal. They're really similar. So, guess I didn't really give a definitive answer here, but I hope I showed you guys some of the differences, talked about them a little bit so you can make an informed decision. Either one's a great choice. If you have any specific questions, go ahead and leave a comment. I'll get back to you. And happy flying, everyone.